It's another video from Ozzy's Robot. Brought to you by the Banana Collection.
Bump-a-doodly doo, bom bom ba 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 ba. Hey everyone, welcome back and come on in. It's that time of the day where we look at really cool stuff, and today it's inspired by post-war Japan. And before I get into the nitty-gritty details, if it's morning where you're at, because if you're like me, you live on the eastern coast of the United States. I don't know why I say that, though, because it's usually in the afternoon when I make these. But, because I post them usually at 4 in the morning. Well, that's when they're timed to release to the public in large. Anyway, so if you're waking up and yawning and rubbing the Sandman out of your eyes, grab your steaming and delicious, sweltering, boiling cup of coffee, stir it, clank it. It could be tea, but most people, I think, have coffee in the morning, except my wife. And take a sip, wake up, grab a snack, focus, pay attention, park your rear in the most comfortable lazy boy imaginable. All that, or not all, or the revolving stool. And I don't mean the stool in your potty. I mean the stool you sit on. And let's look at the amazing Mr. Signal. So I said inspired by post-war Japanese toy. Because this, my friends, and I think my title probably said why you didn't have to spend $100,000. I think this toy was sold at Mandarake. If I'm not mistaken, it went for over $100,000. Not this particular toy, but an original example. This, my friends, is a three-dimensional printed facsimile copy, if you will, and three-dimensional, as in 3D printed a version, and it looks pretty damn cool. I wasn't sure if I had this, and I think Smith House offered one of these, and it went for thousands of dollars. Now, this was what's the word I'm searching for? It was produced by Robot Island, imagined by Robot Island, and as far as the builder, let's just say he's very well known, but I don't know if this was like a sworn to secrecy project, so I don't want to give too many details. If the creator, the actual person that built the toy, wants to chime in, I'll leave it to their discretion, because again, I don't know like the arrangements that were made. But anyway, so Mandarake had one of these, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, maybe longer, or maybe shorter. Can't remember the details, but I believe it sold for like $110,000. But the details are fuzzy, so don't hold me to it. But it was definitely over $100,000, a big one. So I guess the powers that be, and I think just one at Robot Island, decided, hey, maybe I'll make a copy, and he made a pretty good copy, and probably took the pictures from the website and had somebody craft the box. It's a pretty good facsimile of the box, too. And the skilled creator was able to put together a reasonable interpretation of the original toy, which was, I'm assuming it was tin. Now, in the annals of robot collecting, this was always kind of a very quirky, niche design at best, because people were always torn. And here's the thing is always, if this toy wasn't rare, would you spend that crazy amount of money on it? And that's a tough one to answer, but the fact is that it is extremely rare. I think there's only a couple that have surfaced in my lifetime. I mean, a couple being maybe two. So you can't remove that from the equation, because, you can make that argument for anything if it wasn't rare. The Hemi Cuda convertibles that have reached 3.5 million or more, actually. There's 7 survivors, I believe. Well, if there was 7,000, would they be worth that much? Of course not. So, it's all a matter of perspective. So getting to the design, that's where the thing is. Do you like the design? Well, we'll start with the box. I think the box is pretty cool. It's not spacey at all. But in context of today's technology, right, this is sort of an automaton, I don't know, self-driving traffic signal, if there's such a thing. When you think back to the original Astro Boy story, he was the son of the creator of the not Tezuka, but the animated version. The son was killed on self-driving roads, so that's what they were thinking of. Now I don't know how that would work. Self-driving roads. I mean, I'm not sure why they didn't think of self-driving cars, but they said self-driving roads. So in that context, then I guess you'd have a autonomous self-driving traffic signal, and there you go. But it's cool. It has sort of like these old style 60s cars, and he's alerting the public. I don't know, maybe it's a good idea to get rid of all your traffic signals and have one moving, and just figures out where he would go. That would be pretty funny. So I do like the art, even though it's not spacey. Here's the side. Now you do have loss of detail and resolution, because again, this was made off pictures that were probably not that highly detailed. And this looks pretty accurate. Like, it looks like they're waving, but in reality they'd be screaming bloody murder. Like, what the heck are you doing? And I don't know that he'd be ringing either, because there's no sound in our traffic controls. But so that's your box. I find it very whimsical and charming. As for the toy, I don't have pictures. Like if I was more sophisticated, right, this is the part where I would flash in the right corner or the left corner, or juxtapose pictures of the original toy so you can see, well, this is what it looks like compared to the original. I don't have that, so, you just have to imagine that it looks somewhat like this. And, but here's the 3D printed version. I say three-dimensional just to make it funny, because we call it 3D printing. I guess it is a three-dimensional object. And again, I'd have to look at the pictures. I'm sure this is sort of an accurate representation, that they probably had the arrow this sneaker for some reason. Oh my God. And it's very well crafted, though. The person that did this knew what they were doing, and you got like hand-painted details here. This is all hand-painted. The black grid, the red, the rivets. So it's very cool. You got kind of like stop and go, but this sneaker cracks me up here. And then, of course, the traffic lights up top. It's just strange and lovable, So anyway, that's sort of the story behind the Mr. Signal. And would I buy an original if it came up? Hell yeah, I would. I would love to have an original. But in the meantime, this will suffice. And let me tell you something. If I found an original, I'd still keep this, just because I know the amount of effort to create something like this is astronomical. So it's well worth, the craftsmanship that's in this one as well. So let's turn it on. Well, he does not like that box, does he? Whoa. My camera's freaking out. I think this I think this guy's ready to attack us all. Oh my God. I'm just really enjoying watching this thing. That's why I'm letting it run so long. I've never seen an angry traffic signal before. And look at the yellow up top. It's also kind of like a caution light. All right. All right, that is your Mr. Signal. How cool is that? All right, let's switch him off. Man, he is one ornery robot. Holy moly! And in this case, these bumpers actually played a role in keeping him on the table. Man, that's usually not necessary, but that is a look, my friends, at your Mr. Signal 3D printed recreation, and I think it's spectacular. I don't know that we'll ever see an original in action. The other thing is, I wonder if the person that built this actually saw the original in action. Is there a video of the original? I haven't researched it, so there could be. I'm not aware of it. But again, I didn't look. So maybe the person that built it, he or she will chime in and say, yes, I saw the original in action. Or maybe they just assume this is what the actions were like. That'd be interesting to know. But let me know what you think. If you like it, please thumb up the video. And also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. That would be awesome. With that, thanks for your time. Greatly appreciated. I, my friends, will talk to you later.